tombs and to this one, to enter, like thieves, another tomb. This tomb was separate from the other one during antiquity. And you have here the entrance, the staircase. And here you have the square courtyard as in every tomb. The other tomb is an exception with this circular shaft. It's very strange and very, it's a very experimented way of making this staircase round this shaft with a wall between a thin wall between the round staircase and the wall. It's unique. This one is a classical plan of all the tombs in Alexandria, with a square staircase and a square courtyard. Usually, each tomb of Alexandria of this size has such a staircase to go down, Catacombs, and such a shaft. The shaft is the site where the people gathered to make sacrifices. You have here an altar. It was rebuilt, of course, of concrete recently, but it was exactly on the plan of what they discovered in this place. And this is a place where they grilled all the sacrifices for eating this small beast, as we say, in the dining room. The original plan of this tomb is difficult to be understood now, because again it was at the beginning a family tomb, and it became after some 1 or 2 centuries a collective tomb. At the beginning you have the main chapel here for the family in the axe of the staircase, and you have the dining room or another chapel here. And after, they exploited more systematically the tomb, and you have here in the back wall, locally, again, like in the other tomb. So, this tomb was...
but they were not connected.
They were not connected. The whole was made by thieves during the antiquity.
So
probably at the end of the life of these tombs. So, the other tomb, as I said, is dated back to the end of the 1st century AD. And this one dates back, and we shall see why, to the beginning of the 2nd century AD. So the years 120, 130, more or less.
So
sorry.
Doesn't have anything to do with Caracalla.
Sorry?
Because Caracalla ruled between 211 to 217.
There is no relation with Caraccala.
Yeah.
In fact, it was a confusion made by Giuseppe Botti. So, sorry, I shall cancel my phone.
It's like a big story.
So it's a tourist story. They found here, in this place, some bones of horse. They are exhibited there. And so Giuseppe Botti, who opened the Greco-Roman Museum, as you know, in 1895, and who opened in 1892, 1895, the Archaeological Society of Alexandria, and who excavated this tomb. Imagine that these bones could be related with a visit of Emperor Caraccala in Alexandria. And in fact, there is no relations at all.
What did he say? How could...
Because he knew that the hippodrome of Alexandria was not far from here. Hippodrome. And that Caraccala gathered the young people of Alexandria in the hippodrome, and he was matter of joke by the Alexandrian people. And so he tried to kill the young people of Alexandria. And so Botti imagined that some of these people with their horses came down to have a shelter, a refuge here, and that the horses died in this place. So he has no proof about that. Nothing. There is nothing in the written sources.
What about the horses' bones?
Sorry? Yeah.
Claim those are
So
horses' bones.
horses can be very expensive during antiquity. Horses, as we know, had names. Horses had concourses, hippodromes, and so on, with a lot of prices of gold, of course. And the most expensive horses lived in the families, and they were buried, as we know from Greece, in the tombs of the human people, when they were very expensive and well-known horses, famous horses.
honored
Like Bucephalus and so on. We have names of horses. The horse of Alexander the Great was very famous. Even it was painted. Portrait of horse. And it was painted by a very famous painter in Greece. And the portrait was so similar to the original that seeing his portrait, the horse of Alexander the Great was afraid. So we have many written sources and histories about horses. What I would like one day is to make an analysis with C14 of these bones and to have an idea about the age. And we shall find, I'm sure, that they are not at all related to Caracara. So, what is very, you know the history of the tombs and so on, I shall not go.
Professor, before we move to
Yes.
another idea, I'd like to kill any sort of confusion might have happened. يا جماعة معلش اعذروني
Yeah.
احنا معانا جيل صغير، أنا عارف إن أنتوا فاهمين كل الكلام ده، بس معانا جيل صغير برضه واجبنا كلنا إحنا نفهمهم. So you're telling us that this section dates back to the 1st century AD.
No,
and
this one.
This one.
No.
Second century AD, while the other one dates back to the 1st century,
The end.
the end of the 1st century.
So
AD.
they have